predictions. All right. So here we have Darks, Rain, Full Auto, Sage, Classic Scorpion, Ghostology, Beyond Toxin, Honeybee, Cold, Tragic, Michael Seraphin. Dude, this is just the first pool, and this is already fucking insane, dude. But I'll say probably Gur versus Toxin here. Honeybee versus probably Michael Seraphin. That's what I'll have. And I'll have Gur making out winners. Michael Seraphin or Honeybee and Gur here. And then losers, Toxin will go down here, right? Loser of R. Someone like Cold to make a run. Dude, there's so many good players, but I'm gonna have those guys making out losers. So, it would be Gur, Honeybee, and then Michael, Fan, and Beyond Toxin. Okay. Pool 2. So that pool alone, I can just tell that these pools are going to be fucking insane. No Ninja Killer, Striker, Bean Cell, G, No Green, Cocoa Butter, Dylan Lloyd, Certified, bro. Alright. I think right here we're going to have Ninja versus Bean. Here we're going to have G versus No Green. And I think I'm going to have Ninja making out winners and No Green making out winners. And then I'll have Bean and G making out losers. So G would be go down to S. So G would be right there. So Killa, No Green, Big Daddy, G, Bean, Cell. Dude, these pools are set. Like, just simply making it out of pools is going to be insane. Bean beats Ninja, we have a secret. It'll be insane. You think Bean beats Ninja? I don't know if I can do that. That would be crazy. I would love to see it. I think right here, I think that's Pulse versus Mist. Dude, Nehanzo versus Pulse. Like, legit, no one else. But Bean. Snap. Well, if you, dude, I believe, but I can't do that for my predictions round. Sorry, I'm telling you what happened. I'd love to see it. You were very high in BNG at Frosty's, and it happened. So, if he wins, Bean's the fucking GOAT. Just know that. All right, so we got Pulse. We got Pulse and Mist here. We got Hayate and Red Nose. I'm going to take Mist winner side. I think Mist winner side. Mist. I think that's going to be a really good set. I just think Mist has been such a fucking heater recently. Mist, and then I have Red Nose. Mist and Red Nose. Mist, Red Nose, and then we have... This be Hayate. S. I'll have Hayate. I mean, we got Zentai, Mappin, Akio... Yeah, so, and then we'll have Hayate and Pulse and losers. Going to be tough, yeah. You can't do it here, but I'm saying it here. So there's proof. You're the proof. It'll be in the video. You can say that you called it if it happens. Okay. Is there 8 pools? That's absurd. That is absurd. Okay. Pool 4. We got Just Nasty, Mountain Dew Joker, Hercules, Joystick, Desda, Bandinos, Dark Green, Tweety. Wow. Tweety and Bandinos just played in Champion of the Realms, too. Okay. Damn. I think Just Nasty, obviously, here... Because it's like Hercules, Desda, and Joy. I feel like any one of those 3. It could literally be any one of those 3. Like 100%, like complete, like toss up. I think like what I'll do, I'll take Hercules off the hedge of my bet factor that these two are going to have to play sooner, I think Hercules. Just Nasty versus Hercules. And then we have Bandinos versus Tweety. Venus is so good, though. I mean, these pools are just so stacked, bro. There's going to be people drowning. There's going to be top 100 players drowning in pools for Pro Comp. But I'm going to have Just Nasty winners, Tweety winners. Pool 4, Just Nasty, Tweety, Bandinos, Hercules. Okay, pool number 5. Pool 5. We got Unjust, Mike, Wits. Mike, Metroid playing. Interesting. Okay, I know he doesn't really like to be online. Mari, Ludi, B-Wood. Firecase, Josh Ninja. Damn. Okay, we're going to have Unjust. I'm thinking Unjust versus Mike here. And Mari versus B-Wood. I hate to do that to my boy Ludi. I think B-Wood takes that over Mari. I think we have Unjust, B-Wood, and then we have Mike and Mari losers. Waiting, Unjust, B-Wood. I had B-Wood winners, right? B-Wood, and then we have Mari and Mike. Metroid. Alright, we're getting through it, boys. We got Busman, Copper. I don't know if I've ever heard of this dude before. We got Rebel, Wraith, Verde. Verde's really good. Poseidon. I heard that guy's pretty sick. He's a really cool dude, too. BNG, Silent, Next Gen Assassin. Oh, we have Shabs and Kiltron? Bro. Alright. I'm going to have Busman versus Copper here. So versus Copper. Rebel's going to be good, though. And then I'm going to have Wraith versus BNG. These pools stay how they are. I think that's going to happen. I believe in myself. But we got Wraith and BNG here. And then I have Wraith winning that. I have Busman. So Busman, Wraith. Pool 6. Bust. Man. Wraith. How will these pools go? So if I end up losing to BNG and L. L. Okay, so that means if you do make it here, then we would be on the opposite sides. Because then loser of S would be BNG. I probably have to beat BNG at one point. I'm going to have to beat BNG to make it out. That's just what's going to have to happen. Or Wraith. Or both. Or Silent. Next Gen. It's going to be hard, but I'll have BNG. So we'll have the top one, right? No, it'll be BNG. Copper. That Copper dude is dog water. It's Cap, and you know it. And you know it. It's Cap. It's going to be cool to see these later round matches. Okay. Pool 7, we got Sparks, 1 seed. Oh, wow, interesting. Measy. We got Dark, ELG, Dark Splash, Vanity, Pure, Xander, Bacon Lord. Okay, so I think here we have... I'm going to have Dark versus Measy here. Fastest O2 and Brad Copper, guys. Nah, you're going to do good. You're going to do great, man. I know you are. So I'm going to have Measy versus Dark here, with Dark taking that. So we'll have Dark. And then we have loser side Pure and Xander. I'm going to take Xander. Xander is so good at at Texas. Then we're going to Pure, and then we'll have just Measy. All right, then pool 8. We're going to have... We have Kokoi, Alphabet, Hyuno, Zupa. Damn, Zupa's not even seeded? That's rough. Burrito Voorhees, Gunner, Get Wrecked, Yo, Matrix. Bro. Coldest one out? Damn, bro. Damn. All right, I'm gonna have Little Dre too, bro. He's one of the nicest people I ever met. You never know that. You never know that. You think he'd be me, yeah, right? Yeah, that's just crazy. You meet these people offline and they're just so kind. All right, so I'm gonna have Kukoi versus Zupa here. I'm gonna have Zupa. Damn, that's pulling me. I feel like literally any one of these four. And you know, alphabet. But I'm gonna have Kukoi versus Zupa, and then I'll have Genner versus Get Rectio, and then Kukoi and Get Rectio making out, and then Genner and Zupa losers. Kukoi. We have. Oh, what the heck? I'll get rid of that. Oh, Alex is nasty. Genner's playing Alex is nasty. I feel like Alex hasn't been playing enough though. I love you, Alex. If you're there, but Get Wrecked, yo. And then we have Genner, and Epic Zupa. I'm not losing. I have been playing GL to him. Genner, you haven't followed. Alex is here. How you doing, Alex? You're not losing to Genner? You're not losing to Lee May? Bro, that's exactly what you would do, though. That's something exactly like Alex would do. I'm not losing to Smoke or Lee May. Genner's different, though. Genner's so good. These pools are stacked. If you beat Genner, Alex, you're making it out. Just know. You're making it out. Whoever wins that set's gonna be making it out. Yeah.
Do you have my phone?
No. Alright, so Genner is just cracked. Genner is cracked. He is. Alright. So we're gonna go here. Okay. So pool A, so we're gonna have here. So we have Gur versus Honeybee. So this is where we're gonna get those sets, the winner's side. So we'll have Gur versus Honeybee. I think it'll be easier to do it like this. So I'll Gur over Honeybee, and then we'll have Ninja versus No Green. We have Ninja, Mist versus Red Nose. I'm gonna take Red Nose. That'll be a good set, though. Just Nasty versus Tweety. I'm going to take Tweety. Mighty Unjust versus B-Wood. I'm going to take Mighty Unjust. Just T-Dash. Mini Hopper versus Kexter. You set on here. Battle of the Cameos. On Poseidons stream. I'm down. Busman versus Wraith. I'm gonna take Busman. Busman is just too good, bro. Wraith's so good though too. I'm gonna take Busman. I can't sleep on Busman this time. Dark versus Sander. I'm gonna take Dark. And then we have Kukoi versus Get Wrecked. I'm gonna take Get Wrecked. Yo. Okay. So that'll be who is here. And then this is where it's gonna get a little complicated. Loser side's always where it gets a little freaking complicated. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. I gotta see who. Free games this weekend. Okay, so they Get Rectio as the 3 seed, 4 seed, Copper. Well, I mean, making it. Oh, I'm projected to play Mike and then Honeybee. That's funny. It's funny, B. Okay, this is So this is where it gets a little complicated. Pool 1, Michael Seraphin, right? Okay, so it'll be the top versus the bottom of pool 2, right? Pool 2. Because where Bean Cell is, yeah. So it'd be the top. Okay, so this would be MCF versus Bean. Michael Seraphin versus Bean. Top 32 losers. I guess I have it a little complicated, but I'll make it work. So Michael Seraphin versus Bean. I'm going to have Bean, Cell, And then we have, okay, pool 8, so that's, yeah, the top person, right? So pool 8, that'll be Genner versus pool 7. Yeah, the 3 C's, so Genner, right? Am I crazy? No. No, that wouldn't be that. That would be the lower person. Right? No. God, this gets too complicated, bro. It's so hard. You can't just write it out. You have to, like, oh my god, bro. Like, what do I have going on here? Okay. I have Genner. Yeah, that would be Genner. Because that's what I have losing there. Genner. Okay. I have Genner versus, so that'll be the top person. Genner versus the bottom person of 7. Genner versus Just Measy. Ooh, that'll be a good set. I'm gonna take Just Measy there. Goodbye. Genner, and then we have A4. So that'll be the top person of A4. Fourth, that'll be Bandinos versus A3. For A3, do the bottom person. So Bandinos versus Pulse. I'm gonna take Bandinos. Bandinos. Okay. Then we have A5, so that'll be A5 the third person. So that'll be Mari versus Copper. Ooh, I would take Mari there. But that would be a respectable run, Copper. That'll be a respectable run if that happens. Colby, I get you. I'm over Rebel. I'm out. Yeah, in winners, he thinks that'll be crazy. Because we all are friends and play often. That'll be crazy. Okay, so we have Mari, and then we have A2. I have no green winners, right? A2, yeah. So that'll be G versus A1. So G versus A1 losers. That'll be versus Toxin. Big Daddy G versus Beyond Toxin. Damn, I'm gonna take Big Daddy G. That could be a good one. Big Daddy G. Okay. Then A7. Alphabet would be, yeah, the lower one. So I have A8. A8 now would be Zupa. So I have Zupa versus A7. Zupa versus A7. Pure. Zupa versus Pure. I'm gonna take Pure. Damn, there's gonna be so many good sets. So many fucking bangers right off the bat. And then A3. I have Hercules there, right? A4 Hercules. So A3 would be Hayate versus Hercules. Damn. That'll be a good set. I'm gonna take Hayate there. And then we got the bottom one, A6. I think I have BNG there. BNG versus Mike, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it'll be BNG versus Mike. I'm going to take BNG. Okay. So then this would be right here. Okay, and then we have the top 8 winner qualifiers. We have there's 8 winners. We have Gur versus, who did I say between Kukoi? Kukoi and Get Wrecked. Yeah, I have Get Wrecked Yo. Gur versus Get Wrecked Yo. Get Wrecked Yo. I'm gonna take Get Wrecked, yo. I just feel like he's gonna be ready for Gur. You know what I mean? And then we'll have right here. That's what I have Tweety versus Unjust. Damn. Tweety versus Unjust. I'm gonna take Unjust. Then you have Ninja Killa versus, should I have A7? Ninja Killa versus Dark. Killa versus Dark. Ninja. And then we would have, which would be, I think I have Busman versus, who do I have? Pool 3? Was it Mist? Red Nose. So it would be Red Nose versus Busman. I'm gonna take Busman. Man versus Red Nose. Busman. Okay. So then this would be Get Wrecked. No wait. I had them winning. Okay, so Bean Cell versus, so Bean would be here. And he would be facing Wraith. Pizza versus Wraith. I'm going to take Wraith. We have Just Measy versus. Just Measy would be here. He'd be fighting. Where's Hayate? Pool 3. So the loser, if I have Pool 3. Mist. Oh man, Just Measy versus Mist. That would be hilarious. If that actually happens. Measy versus Mist. Oh man, I think I'm going to take Mist there. I hope people don't get offended by my predictions, by the way. I'm just trying to, because who really knows? Like, it really happened and very day to day and stuff like that. Just trying to do something, the thing that's kind of fun for the community. If you guys hate me for it, then, I guess it is what it is. Okay, so this would be, Pure Pool 7. So this would be Bandinos versus Pool 7 loser, which would be Xander. Bandinos versus Xander. Prediction for me was accurate. I don't know. If you beat Pulse, you're out. Nate, people. Like Bandinos. Mari versus. Did I have G there? No. Mari versus. Gee, that's probably a B Wood, right? A2. No green. Mari versus no green. Oh man. I think I'm gonna take Mari there. We have Big Daddy G. I was funny how Mari no green is supposed to be here, but that I have him here. Okay, so we have this. We have Big Daddy G versus the loser of Pool 5. Big Daddy G versus the loser of Pool 5, which is B Wood. Big Daddy G versus B Wood. I think I'm gonna take Big Daddy G. BDG. Yeah, we have Pure versus the loser of, which is Pool 4. Pure versus Pool 4 Just Nasty. Oh man, I think I gotta take Just Nasty. Man, okay, Hayate versus. I just take forever. This is a big pool, though. I want to make sure I get through all these. So, Hayate versus. This would be the loser of Red Nose. No burrito. Loser of Pool Hayate versus the loser of Pool 8, which would be Kakoi. Kakoi. I think I'm gonna take Kakoi. And then this would be BNG versus loser of pool 1, which I think I had to be BNG versus Honeybee. I think I'm going to take BNG there. Okay. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then they would play, so then it would be Wraith versus Mist. I think I'm going to take Wraith. We have Bandinos versus Mari. I'm going to do Bandinos. We have BDG versus Just Nasty. That would be crazy. I think I want to take Just Nasty. Kakoi versus BNG. I don't know. I'm very high on BNG. I think BNG is going to do it. So then that would put Wraith right here. He would fight the loser of the second set we had. So Wraith would be, so for top 8 losers. Wraith versus Tweety. Let me just get these sets set up. This would be the second one. Had Wraith Bandinos. Versus that'll be the first one. So Bandinos versus Gurr. Man. Here would be I have Busman versus Red Nose would be Red Nose versus Just Nasty. Just Nasty versus Red Nose. And then we'd have the bottom one there. BNG versus Dark. That would be a crazy set. That would be a really, really cool set. And then I think so. This would be Wraith versus Tweety. I think I'm gonna have to take Tweety. Bandinos versus Gurr. I'm gonna take Bandinos. Just Nasty versus Red Nose. I'm gonna take Just Nasty. And then BNG versus Dark. I think I'm gonna take Dark. I don't know, I'm big on Dark. Big on Dark. That would be so. The Busman versus Sparks. That's what it is. Okay, so then the top 8 would be. Get Wrecked Yo versus the Mighty Unjust. We have Ninja versus Bustman. Losers, we would have Tweety versus Bandinos. We would have Just Nasty versus Dark. Okay, so then I think Bustman. Okay. So then here I think we have Unjust. Here I think we have Ninja. Losers, I think we have Tweety. And then here I think we have Just Nasty. Okay, so then the Get Wrecked Yo versus Unjust would be Unjust here. So that means loser of that. So Get Wrecked Yo would be facing Just Nasty. Yo versus Get Wrecked Yo. And then Tweety would be facing Bustman. Bustman, wow. Okay, and I think we have Bustman here. And I think we have Erectio here. And then between Bustman and Gerectio, I think we have Gerectio versus Gerectio. I have the Gerectio. And then, so then that would be Unjust versus Ninja. I think that would be, I think Ninja wins that. So then we have Unjust versus Gerectio, which they always go back and forth, but I think we have Unjust, and I think we have Ninja winning. Ninja. Damn, that took a hot second. We made a long walk for a short drink of water, but we got the sets. We got who we think it is. Top 8, I have Gerectio, Unjust, Ninja, Bustman, winner's side. I have Tweety, Bandinos, Just Nasty, and Dark, loser's side. And I have the winner. Top 3 being Ninja, Unjust, and Gerectio. Unjust and Ninja in grand finals, and Ninja winning it. There it is. Those are the predictions. We made it through. Through all accurate. All right, now time to do the West Coast. Oh, this is just the NA East, right? Can I access the NA West? From pro competition. Okay. NA West. I take a look. 104 attendance. Oh, geez. This one's going to be just as hard, isn't it? To do. Oh boy. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, it's not going to be that as hard. But I'll have to do another one of these. Let's go to the bottom here. All right. Pool 1. All right. It's Sonic 5 versus Arona Sonic. So, Sonic Fox. And this would be, I think C Performs versus Yo AJ. Damn. I think Yo AJ. Yeah. Yo AJ, and then we got C Performs and Arona. Pool 2. I'll rifle through these a bit. Pool 2. No, this isn't the most. Okay, we got Hourglass, Size-Off, Jintaku, Tornadic, Wow Cowboy, damn, Quan Chi Mirror right off the bat. That'll be hilarious. So we have Hourglass versus Size-Off with Hourglass winning, and then we have Chico versus Wound Cowboy with Wound Cowboy winning. So we have Hourglass, Wound Cowboy, Chico, and Size-Off. Pool 3. Yo, my God, see performance mentioned. You are mentioned. We have Cynicus. Ooh, Rogelio as well. Oh man. Yo, hey bro, what's going on, Emerald? What's going on? Is it that you can switch characters and turn them, but not KL? That's a good question. All right, I'm gonna have Rewind versus Cynicus here. Cynicus has been kind of popping off recently. And then Rogelio's been so good. Faded Soul. I'm going to take Rogelio. Rogelio versus Varius. With Varius winning. So we have Rewind. Varius. Rogelio. And Faded. And Cynicus. Pool 4. Hope you guys are all doing well. Just doing some predictions for that. So we got Han, Parsa, CJ the Spaceman, Dark Elite, Spino, Retro. Okay, we got Han. Winner versus Parsa. We got Han, Retro, and then losers we have Dark Elite and Parsa. HP. Pool 5. We have Dexy, Ishmael, Blizzard, Uname, plus. So I'm gonna say we have Dexy. Pool 5. We have Dexy versus. And then we have. I'm gonna take Blizzard. And then we got plus, and I think the plus would be loser side, and then no, did I mess that up? Is it different for this one? Snap. Well, I'll figure it out. If I have it backwards, then it'll still work the way it's supposed to. Plus, and then Ishmael. Pool 6. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. I said, we got Gambler versus Perfect Shinny. Mike Garza. Sino. Silly. Titanium Tigers. Okay, I think we're going to have Gambler and Tigers. Gambler, Tigers. And then we have Illy Silly and Perfect Shinny. Perfect Shinny. Pool 7. We have Online Kale, Kung Lao for the Life, Shoot, Jinky Dink, Green Ash, Red Pop Tart, Trash, Manny. Oh man, so I think we have Online Kale versus. I'm gonna take Shoot Jinky Dink. Sorry, my dude Kung Lao for Life. I love that dude. That dude's dope. But Online Kale, and then losers we have Trash. We'll have Pop Tart and Shoot Jinky Dink. And then we got Enzo, Mike Trolinsky, Cobra. Alright, I'm going to have Enzo versus Cobra. And then we're going to have Wise versus Prospects here with Enzo Wise. We got Pool 8. Enzo, Wise. And then we have Prospects and Cobra Tango. Okay. This one gets a little complicated. Okay. For pool 1, we have Sonic versus Yo AJ. I'm going to take Sonic. Pool 2, we have Hourglass versus Hourglass. Pool 3, we have Rewind versus Various. I'm going to take Rewind. We have Han versus Retro, which is going to be an insane set. I'm going to take Han. I got Dexy versus Blizzard. I'm going to take Dexy. Gambler versus Tigers. Man, I'm going to take Tigers. Kale versus, I'm going to take Kale versus Trash. And then Enzo versus Wise. I'm going to take Wise. Okay. And then loser side, it gets a little more complicated. So you have, what do we have? Loser of 1. This would be where, so yeah, Sonic faces, so it'll be Yo AJ, which is, wait, no, I have Yo AJ winning. Who's Max Gladiator? So yeah, whoever loses there. Which I have C performs. So this would be where C performs is. Oh, what am I doing? So C performs versus A2, which would be the C performs at the bottom of A2, where I have size off. So, C performs to losers. This would be C perform. I'm gonna take C performs. My bracket got updated to have. Really? Oh my god! I literally just did the predictions. I'm not changing them. I literally just did the predictions. How badly were they updated? Also, we can do the podcast right when I'm done. Alphabet. That's actually infuriating. Okay, and then we have pool A8. They're so complicated. Salisbury. So this is where I would have prospect. So prospect is where torso is. Prospect is where torso is. So then pool 7. So it'll be prospect versus Yujinki Dink. I'm gonna have prospect. You're late. Yeah, I'm late. Yeah, I was gonna do West 2. Sorry, it's taking for. Oh my god, bro, this is insane. The amount of how much goes into this, bro. Can't wait to see Retro Cook. Yeah, Retro's gonna be insane. Yeah, Retro losing the dark, which I don't think is gonna happen. So this is where I have dark. So this would be dark. Dark Elite versus Dark Elite is pool 4 versus pool 3 Senecas. Ooh. I'm gonna take Dark Elite. That's gonna be a good one though. Dark Elite. Dark Elite. Then I have Unime versus Perfect Shinny. I think I have Perfect Shinny going where they said it was going to be lower. Yeah. Perfect Shinny losing to Gambler. So we have Shinny, which is pool 6 versus pool 5. Pool 6 here versus pool 5, which is plus. Perfect Shinny versus plus. I think I'm going to take Perfect Shinny, but that'll be a great set. Alright, Perfect Shinny versus plus. We have Cowboy versus Arona. This is where I would have Arona. If Arona losing. So Arona versus Chico. Ooh. I'm going to take Arona, but damn. Okay, then we have Trash. I'm pretty sure I have Trash. No, I have Trash going on winners. I think that's where I have Cobra, but we'll see. Trash, yeah, this is where I have Pop-Tart. So this would be Pop-Tart. There's Trash. Pop-Tart versus A. So I have Pop-Tart. A would be Cobra. Yeah, I'm going to take Pop-Tart there. Varius, which I think I have Varius winners versus Parsa A4. That's what I have Parsa going on losers there. So Parsa versus A3. We have Parsa A4 versus A3, which would be Rogelio. Ooh. I'm gonna take Rogelio. Rogelio. Kamikaze. Anyone made a tile joke? I haven't made a power crep tile yet. No, they have not. How you doing, Kirby? Are you gonna be at Frame tomorrow? It's fine. We'll see you there. And then we have Illy versus Ishmael, right? Is that what I would have? I think I have that. No, A6. Ishmael I have going on losers. Ishmael, yeah. So then pool 6. I think that's what I have. Yeah, Ishmael versus Illy Silly. Man, the battle of the Sindels. Damn, I'm gonna take Ishmael. But that would be a insane set. Okay. So then I have C performs here. So C performs. Let me do who I have in top 8. So this be for top 8. Top 8 qual for winners. So this would be 1 versus 8. So we'd have Sonic versus Wise. Ooh. Sonic versus Wise. We're going to have Sonic. And then we would have, so it's 2 versus 7 then. So then we would have Hourglass versus Kale. Oh my god. Versus Kale. I'm going to take Kale. We'd have Rewind versus Tigers. I'm going to take Rewind. Rewind versus Tigers. Rewind. And then we have what was this 5? We have Han versus Dexy. I'm going to take Han. Han versus Dexy. Han. Okay. And then we're going to get complicated on me again. So this means we would have perfect C performs. Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we would. Okay. So this is where we have C performs versus King Gambler. I think I'm gonna take Gambler. Prospect versus. This would be Prospect versus the loser of Varius. Prospect versus Varius. I think I'm gonna take Prospect. Dark Elite versus the Pool 7 loser, which I have to be Trash. Just Trash. I think I'm gonna take Trash. Perfect Shinny versus the fourth one. 1, 2, 3. This would be the fourth one down. 4, so that would be, they have Chico, so 2 would be one Cowboy, right? Yes, one Cowboy. I have. I'm gonna take Perfect Chinny. And then we have Arona versus the loser of 5, which I think I have. I think Arona versus Blizzard. Which I think I'll have Arona. Pop-Tart versus Pop-Tart, which would be Dark Elite. Where do I have Dark Elite? Pop-Tart versus the loser of 4. Which would be Retro. Then have Retro, Rogelio versus the loser of that Y is an Enzo. So Rogelio versus Enzo. I'm gonna take Enzo. Ishmael versus loser of 1. What do I think I have? Yo AJ. So Ishmael versus Yo AJ. I think I'm gonna take Ishmael. Okay. So then that would be Gambler versus. So then that would be Gambler versus Prospect. I'm going to take Gambler. We'd have Trash versus Perfect Shinny. I think I'm going to take Trash. Arona versus Retro. I'm going to take Retro. Enzo versus Ishmael. I'm going to take Enzo. So then that would be, we have Gambler here. So we have Gambler, Trash. Yeah. Gambler, Trash, Retro, Enzo. Gambler, Trash, Retro, Enzo. And then that would be, Gambler would be fighting two. So the loser of Han. Then it would be losers. Gambler versus Dexy. It would be Trash versus the loser of Sonic. Trash versus Wise. Then we would have Retro versus Retro's here versus Gambler. So we rewind, the loser rewind, and who he plays. Retro versus Tigers. And then we would have Enzo versus Hourglass. Which I think we have. So I think right here we have Dexy. Here we have Wise. Here we have Retro. And then here I think we have Hourglass. So then top 8 would be Sonic versus Kale. Kale. Rewind versus Han. Han. Losers would be. It would be Dexy versus Wise. Retro. Hourglass, right? Did I have that wrong? Because I have Kale beating Hourglass. Would Kale be finding? Did I mess that up? I think I have that messed up. So this would be Sonic versus Han and Rewind versus Kale. That's why I messed up. Okay. So then I think I have Sonic here, Kale here. There's gonna be great. There's gonna be insane, dude. I hope people stream this because there's gonna be no stream. Actually, Aquaman's gonna be streaming top 8 at least. So then here I think I have Wise, and then here, oh my god, I think I'm gonna have Hourglass. So then that means loser side. So Sonic versus Han. Loser of that, Han would go to the lower side. So then that would be where I have Hourglass. So then it would be Han versus Hourglass. And Rewind versus Wise. I think I'm going to have Han here, Wise here. And then it'll be Sonic versus Kale, which I think I'll have Sonic winning that. And then Han versus Wise. I think I'm gonna take Han to win that. And so that means Han versus Kale. I think Kale wins that. Then Grand Finals, Kale versus Sonic. And I think Sonic wins that. There it is. A little drawn out. It takes a little second because you have to draw it out yourself. But there it is. My top 8 for NA West is winner's side, Sonic, Han Rashid, Rewind, and Kale. Loser side, I have Dexy Dog, Wise, Retro, and Hourglass. With Sonic and Kale being grand finals, Han Rashid getting 3rd place. And yeah, basically is going to do it. That's going to wrap it up. But thank you guys so much for coming out and watching. Like I said, sorry it was so long and drawn out. If you're watching over on the YouTube side of things, make sure to drop a subscription to the channel if you're new here. And if you're not new here, leave a like and comment on the video. Let me know who you think is going to win this weekend, NA East and NA West. I'll see you guys at the next video.